Excuse me, guys. I had to get comfortable. I've been out there in all of the elements. It's been rainy, and that's just a sign of what's to come. God is about to pour out his blessings on his children. Those of us who have remained faithful to him, I'm telling you, on Christmas night, I had a dream of, I was just standing outside and I was looking, in the sky, and I started to see a storm just starting to develop right before my eyes in the clouds. And I started to see the lightning and, just all of the different aspects of a storm, and I knew that it was coming. It looked like it was going to develop into something pretty big, and I really do believe that God speaks to us through our dreams, especially since I have started on this journey and I've grown closer to the Heavenly Father. He definitely speaks through to me in so many different ways. And that's where your faith comes in, guys. If you really have faith in God, he will show you great and mighty things. His word is not there for no reason. It's the truth. That is a living word. Do you hear me? And so the things that you read are facts. It's not only things that happened back in the days when they were written. These things happen now. These things happen and happen and happen over time. But it's up to the person to trust and believe that the Lord is closer than the air that you breathe. That even though you can't see him, and some of us may not be able to hear from him in the ways that we want to, but your faith breaks barriers. And your faith will allow him to get closer to you in a way that you never thought possible. Trust me, before the Heavenly Father came into my life and just started to work on me in such a mighty and great and powerful way, I had no idea that we had the type of Father that we have. I was right there with so many that believed in God, but thought he was at a far distance. I thought the only way that you could know about God is to read the Bible or, from going to church and things like that. I didn't know that a close relationship, a real and true relationship, was even possible until now. I can't tell anyone what to believe. I can't make anyone believe anything. I can only tell you my truth. And my truth is God came in my life and truly made it so much better than it ever has been. He turned my life around. I could feel him inside cleaning me up. I'm telling you, that is how real he is. He came in and immediately, I'm going to tell you, before I even knew what was going on, I thought I was dying. But it was him cleaning me up on the inside. And after that, my life just started to change for the better. And he opened my eyes to so much. And I've said this in a previous video. I know he's blessed me with gifts, but I wouldn't dare put a name on them unless he was like, this is what you are. I need you to address people as this. I just want to be obedient and spread his love and his word to the people that he have connected with me. That's it, and that's all. I want to share my experiences that he leads me to share with you all, and just give you love, give you encouragement that he gives me. You know, I can only go as far as he allows me to, but I just want you to know that we do have a real and true God, and it is possible. It's more than possible to have a real relationship with him. Not just, yeah, he speaks to us through the Bible, but it's so many other ways that he will make his presence known to you. But you have to believe. You have to trust him. You have to reject any doubts, any unbelief that may come in your mind, because the devil is at work. He doesn't want us to receive anything that the Heavenly Father has in store for us. So he's going to place those internal thoughts in our minds to try to steer us off course and keep us distracted, so we're not focused on seeking God's face and talking to our Father about the things that we should be talking to him about. And that's another thing. I used to hear that people would say, don't question God and all of this. It was like, it made me even scared to even talk to God, because I'm like, I had so many questions that I wanted to ask. So if I just always used to feel like if I can't question him, then I'm scared to even say anything, because a question may just come out, But the truth is, just like your earthly father, this is our heavenly Father. Don't you know that he needs us to talk to him in that way? We can't be demanding, you can demand it, but that don't mean it's going to happen. But I really don't believe that he just wants us to, be like robots. He wants us to be his children. He wants us to ask him the things that we need to ask him. He wants us to talk to us like we would our earthly father. And if you like me, I've never experienced a father here on earth. Maybe a so-called stepdad, which I wouldn't consider him as a father like a real father should be. God is the closest, the only father that I've ever had, and it's just so comforting to feel his presence and his love and the type of protection. No one in this world could ever give you the type of protection and love and care that he gives. I'm telling you right now, he doesn't play about his children. And people go around here and think they can keep mistreating you, and don't get me wrong. All of us have to be disciplined for the things that we do in this world. He's no respecter of persons. If you do something wrong, you're going to have to pay for it. But when you're doing the right thing and, you're just trying to do the will of God and be good to people, and they're just continuing trying to bring you down, continuing trying to do evil things to you and to ruin your life, God does not play that. It may not be today, it may not be tomorrow that you're going to get your payback, that God is going to pay you. You're going to have to pay for that. It's just no going around it. You can ask for forgiveness, but you better believe there's going to still be repercussions for the things that you've done to people that definitely haven't did anything to you. So that's why I always think twice before I go around here mistreating people. No, none of us are human. none of us are perfect, Lord. None of us are perfect. It does seem like some of us are not human in this world. I'm just going to say it, because it's like you wonder sometimes, do they even got a heart inside their chest? So that word, that not human part, probably was meant to come out of my mouth. But what I was aiming to say is we're all human. So, you know, we may say something out of the way that we didn't mean or whatever, but it's about your heart posture. And did you really mean it that way, you know? And only God knows. So, but it's such a wonderful thing to have him by your side. Yes, we still have to suffer, but it is so much better to suffer with him by our side, knowing that he's with us every step of the way, than to be living worldly and without God and going to, trust me, the things that I've had to go through with God in my life, it doesn't compare the feeling that I felt when I didn't have him in my life, because I got that comfort of the Father. 100% of the time, I know that I'm going to get through. It's no doubt in my mind that he's going to bring me through. He gives me ease of mind to know that this too shall pass. And so I'm just saying this to encourage those of you that don't feel like, you know, he's there for you, or you can't feel his presence. It's just, it takes just to spend a little bit more time with him. Like I said on the previous video, the closer you get to him, the closer that he gets to you. And he will reveal himself. He will make it known that he is very present in your life. But you know, some he will show, but they tend to forget. You remember the Israelites when they were going through the wilderness, how many miracle signs and wonders that he placed right in front of them, and he performed just so they would know that he is present, that he is protecting them, that he is guiding and leading them their every step. And yet and still, they still murmured, they still complained, they still was ungrateful. And that led that first generation to be stuck in the wilderness forever. And I don't want to be stuck in a wilderness forever. I want to walk into my promised land. So I know the Heavenly Father got even greater plans than what I'm in right now. But he says, my child, faint not. Do not get weary in well-doing. Because if you continue to do good, you will reap. It's gonna get hard at times. People are gonna make it hard for you too. But when you think about that, think about what the Heavenly Father says about that as well. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood. Even though we can look at their flesh and we can look at that person, it's the enemy that's working through them. Most of them have no idea that they're being used by the devil. But don't you react the way they're reacting. Don't you throw stone for stone. Remove yourself from situations that may cause you to do things that will either delay the blessings of God or completely take you out of the running, out of His sight for the moment. You know, I wouldn't say forever, but that's what the enemy wants. He wants you to forfeit the blessings that God got for you. He's already, you know, I can't think of the word. He will already be in hell forever. And so he's going to do all he can to take as many of God's children down there with him. I've suffered enough here on earth. I definitely don't want to go burn in hell for the rest of eternity. I don't care what it takes. I'm going to continue to be faithful to the Heavenly Father. And He sees your good works. Just because it doesn't happen, things doesn't happen when we want them to. We just got to know that it's going to happen in due time. When God knows it's the right time. So just keep your head up, people. Good people. And just know we just gotta keep pushing forward. We gotta go. We gotta keep going till we reach the finish line. It may feel like you just don't have no more strength. You just can't go another step. But when you start, feeling that way, that's when you push even harder. That's when you go within and give it all you got. That's when you ask God for even more strength to continue to endure. That's when you start praying without ceasing. That's when you realize where your help comes from. And it comes from our Father. Even until our dying day, He's going to be right by our side. And me personally, I can't wait to see His beautiful face. Just inviting me to be with Him forever. No more crying, no more suffering, no more heartache, no more pain. Just His love forever and ever. So hold on. Trouble don't last always. I love you all. Good night.